Hello everyone, welcome to Tactica Imperialis and to today's video. Today is an Age of Sigmar 2nd edition battle report. I know I'm late because I suffered a minor back injury on my way home from France, but I'm back now and AOS2 is underway, so this is going to be our first battle report for the new edition. And we're not starting small, we'll have one test game to play the rules, just to make sure we understood them, but we're going to start with a proper battle report. 3,000 points, Stormcast Eternals, Maggotkin of Nurgle, and we're playing a pitched battle plan from the General's Handbook called Total Conquest. It's a very messy deployment map, but how it broadly works is there are 4 objectives that are worth 1 point each every single round, but you score an additional point if you take the objective off your opponent in a given round. So if you hold 2 and take 1, you get 4. You hold none at the start of a turn and then take 2, you get 4. That's how it broadly works. From our test game, we're not sure how this is going to go, because in the test game, Stormcast and Maggotkin seem actually okay matched, maybe with a little bit of luck on the Stormcast side with objectives, but I did win the game, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this one goes, because, well, Nurgle's the one you'd expect to win if AOS 1 has anything to go on, but then we've got a little bit of gameplay that says otherwise, so we'll see how it goes, and we'll get you into the map and things in a moment, and yeah, I think that's all you really need to know. There's a little bit of magic going on. We're not going to be using any of the realm rules. I'll explain that a little bit later, how everything's going to fit together. And yeah, so place your bets in the comments below. Let us know who you think is going to win. And I hope that you are all enjoying AOS 2nd edition as much as we all are. So get the armies, the board, the deployment. We're already pre-deployed because, well, you'll see when you see the map, it's an absolute pain to get deployed. So we'll get to that now, and I really hope you enjoy the game. Let's get going.
Alright, welcome to a Blasted Hallow Heart board. We got this specially kind of for the new edition, I guess. We're not using the realm rules today because this is our first big game, really. We've played it one mission, but this is our first proper mega game. So we're not going to use the realm rules and realm magic, and we are using it in the spells, but we'll get to that. So starting off with the Stormcast side, leading the eye is Justinian Bloodbreaker, my Lord Aquila. He's my general for the day, mainly because he unlocks these guys as battle line. So I'm running a block of 15 Vanguard Hunters armed with Storm Sabers, and I have a 10-man unit with Shock Hand Axes sat in reserve. They're going to be using their Astral Compass ability. My other battle line, I have 10 Judicators with bows, 2 special bows and a prime. I have 10 Liberators with 2 Grand Hammers and a prime. They're using hammers and shields. And over there I have 5 Sequitors. You take them in 5s in the General's Handbook and the Battle Tomes, so I've taken 5, and I've got 3 Great Maces in there because they do extra stuff against demons. Extra heroes, we have a Knight Incantor, who is just going to be using her usual stuff because we don't have the Stormcast spells yet. We have a Lord Selzit on Dracos with Thunder Axe, who's lost some of his utility with the Gryph-hound change, but that's fine. We have in that corner as well 3 Vanguard Raptors. They're armed with Hurricane Crossbows. They got cheaper in the General's Handbook, and I'm glad about it. Down here we have a Knight Questor, my Gabrielle Shawheart model, a Lord Relictor, 2 Concussors, which is the Hammer Cavalry. Don't worry, they got broke on the plane. 3 Vanguard Paladors with Shock Hand Axes, and 2 Tempestors, which is a new unit that you hadn't seen in the army before from a town called Mars because they weren't finished. So these are crossbow cavalry, and despite me ragging on them in a town called Malice, they're actually really, really good. And then finally we have 5 Retributors because I need some heavy punch. There is a Star Soul Mace there and a Prime. The deployment map, we've left the dice on the board to denote this. It goes like this, 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 and then this. The objectives are the white dice, so here, 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 and there's one there. And then the blue dice again denotes the Nurgle deployment zone. So,
okay, so Nurgle, first of all I've taken Nurgle's Taliban, so everything but the Nurglings and the Mortal Nurgle heroes are in it. So we've got 3 Plague Drones, and then we have a Lord of Afflictions, who has the Rust Axe, so he can reduce people's saves. We have 9 Nurglings, 10 Plague Bearers, Festus the Leech Lord, a big unit of 6 Plague Drones, 10 more Plague Bearers, Great Unclean One with whatever the book is that gives him +1 to cast.
Yep.
Sorcerer.
What's his weapons, by the way?
Oh, he's got the Bile Blade and the Bile Sword.
So yes, it's not the.
So he's a spell casting.
Yes, it's not the super silly belly Great Unclean one that makes Nurgle faster than elves.
So yeah, then we have a Sorcerer, Spells. He has the one that reduces everything by 1, but he can't move. Festus has the Plague Rain equivalent.
Yep, so it's just plink stuff whenever you like.
Yeah. Cloying Quagmire on the Sorcerer. 10 more Plague Bearers. 1, 2, 3 separate units of Plague Toads.
Beast of Nurgle.
Oh, yeah, Beast of Nurgle even. Another Herald. Spoilpox Scrivener. Demon Prince, who is my general with Pestilent Breath. And then 20 Plague Bearers.
Yes, I just want to quickly backtrack to this guy, because that Cloying Quagmire is -1 save for the rest of the...
No, Cloying Quagmire is 14-inch range. I roll a dice. If it
beat the
passes your
save
save, you take D6 mortal wounds.
Yeah, so that punishes me for having good saves. Cough.
And then Festus's unique spell is -1 to your save rolls for the rest of the game.
Cough. And he has an ability that does the same thing.
Yes, that's his rank.
Cough. So there's a lot of armor chicanery, which is really bad, because Stormcast rely on their armor, and then Nurgle has mortal wounds on top. And if we didn't mention it, there is the...
Oh yeah, and Soul Snare Shackles as well.
Yeah, I can't say them, so I'm just going to call them the chains. So if you haven't seen it on the spell card, it's basically like this. Units near them are slowed down, and on a 6 you do mortal wounds, and they are set up on a 5, so they're going to be a little bit annoying. I've only got the 1 caster, because...
And I have 5.
Yeah, so Kieran can just cast this whenever he likes. I've only got my Knight Incantal, so I'm going to have to choose what to do. I was tempted to run my Evocators, and I'd probably take the Paladors out, but I only own 3, and you pay for 5 in the handbook, and so to not proxy for the sake of the battle report, we haven't done that. Now, in terms of deployment, well, because there is a battalion here, and there isn't one here, the demons finished a long time before. So they get to win the tie on this roll. We've checked the rules, and that's how we think it works.
So...
Kieran wins with a 6. So would you like to go first, or would you like to go second in this first battle round?
I think I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, before we do, I need to run through my traits and artifacts and stuff. So my Aquilor has for his trait Cunning Strategist, which gives D3 units the ability to effectively scout 5 inches. So 3. And he also has the Drake Scale Armor from the Stormcast Battletome, which means he rerolls his saves against attacks with a damage greater than 1. My Lord Relictor also has the Divine Light Prayer, so that means I could either make it harder for my units to be hit, or one of my units to be hit, or make it easier for one of the Nurgle units to be hit. That's the broad scope of how that works. I don't get anything extra, I'm not running battalions. So I've got 3 units that I'm allowed to make a free scout move with, and if you could just take this off me, I've got a rough idea of what I want to do.
Okay.
So, there's a chair there, that's why I wasn't walking around the board, just for anybody who wasn't sure. So I'm going to start with the Sequitors, because if I can get onto this objective early and set up a base on it, then that should make my life a little bit easier. Sorry they're not painted, I literally only got them together yesterday. Rant worthy. Might make a video on the Soul Wars box set at some point. I'm going to scout forward, because I'm supposed to do this before the round begins, so you haven't picked yet.
Okay.
Well. So I'm trying to think about, because if I was to even round, I know I'd just move these guys forward and lock it down. But I'm going to move my Concussors 5 inches, just to get them a little bit better placed. And I'm also going to move my... I'm going to move my Paladors forward as well, just to let their Winds Etheric get them across the board a little bit more safely. For those complaining about my deployment, I know it's awful. I'm aware of that. So, my bad. And that's it. So, am I starting?
Yeah, I think you are.
Okay, so the Stormcast will be taking the first turn in this first battle round in our first battle report. There's a lot of firsts today for AOS2. Last chance to place your bets. I hope this one goes well. And we will see you at the end of the first battle round, because that's how we usually do our battle reports here on Tactica Imperialis. So, without further ado, we'll see you at the end of round 1. So, everything I said about battle round 5 minutes ago, pan that. I'm doing turns, because there's a lot going on. So, end of Stormcast turn 1. Much movement in this direction. I used my command point that I generated this round to get an automatic 6-inch run with my 15-man block of Vanguard Hunters to get them up to that objective. And I got a couple of shots in at the Lord of Afflictions, but he saved them all. I also got a lucky 6 run on my Paladins, so they kept pace, and my Tempestus followed up, but they were out of range for their shooting attack, which was unfortunate. The Judigators moved forward ever so slightly and did 3 wounds, I think, or 4, to the plague drones in the middle of the board. There's a 6-man squad there. General movement forward here. The Liberator's got another big run, so they got a nice bit of movement. And I also cast Divine Light on them, which means that they are 6s re-rolled against them. 6s against them are re-rolled for hit rolls. Questor is just here. The Relictor's gone over there. The Incantor attempted to cast Mystic Shield, but it was unbound spectacularly. The Sequitors just used their extra bit of movement to get onto the objective, though I didn't launch a charge. And then I did some movement here. Then this happened. So I brought my Vanguard Hunters on here to try and screen my Vanguard Raptors. However, through my shooting attacks from said Raptors and the Lord Selson, sorry about the lighting by the way, I was able to do 6 wounds to a beast here, as well as kill a Plague Bearer. No, I didn't kill a Plague Bearer, I failed. With the combination of mortal wounds from this and the amount of shots these guys get. So I got it down to 1. So I attempted a long bomb charge of a 9, got a 10, got in, did 2 wounds to this beast, killed a Plague Bearer, and killed that beast off. I lost 2 guys in return, but I passed my Bravery Battle Shock test, and that Plague Bearer is coming back in a second because of Nurgle's Taliban and Chicanery. And also those Plague Drones there are probably just going to heal almost all their wounds off, so that's fine. And that's it. A lot more happened than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting to do an end of turn review, but that's where we're at. So, the dial has just ticked on to...
Yeah, it will have done. So it's just ticked on to Rampant Disease at the start of my turn. So
you're going to pick D3 units. We might as well do this since I've got the camera on.
Yeah, so D3 units. For 1, I'm going to pick your Paladins, and they take D3 mortal wounds.
Okay. So that's 2, so a guy goes down to 1 wound. I'm just going to grab dice to do that. You've got a bent hammer because you broke on the plane, so there you go. So that's going into Nurgle turn 1 with a lot more locked down flank than I would think anyone was expecting or hoping for. So this should be interesting. We'll join at the end of turn 1. End of Nurgle turn 1. Ow! We were having a discussion the other day about Nurgle DPS.
Yeah.
Right, let me explain. So, thanks to his -1 save to a unit within 3 inches for the rest of the game, and being near to a Nurgle hero, those guys get +1 attack to every single thing, and they've got that means they have an attack that's basically -2 Ren D3 damage, and they have 2 attacks with it. So that hurt like heck. Then he's got a bunch of attacks that hurts like heck, and the Nurglings also did some plink because they can do it too. In total, 8 died. So their bravery went to -1, I rolled a 5, I lost 6 guys, there's just the prime left there. Rip an entire unit in one go. What were we saying about Nurgle DPS? Over here, the fact that Narmor failed to do anything to the Paladins, but the Nurglies did kill a guy, but just with sheer weight of dice, and then thanks to their bitey, festery thingy, did another mortal wound, thank you very much. Over here, a Death's Head did a wound to a Palador, and over here, the Liberators have been afflicted with being super duper slow. Over here, more -1 save shenanigans, thank you very much. So 3 died here. And then down here, the Demon Prince just went hop, crash, Vanguard Raptor's dead in one go. So that hurt a lot. The summoning didn't happen very much, but because of the way the mission works, 3 points were scored by Nurgle. 1 for capping here, 1 for capping here, and 1 for taking it off something I was capping. So... ow. So the game's all tied up at the end of the first battle round, although the dead piles are not. Cough, cough. Because this is what Stormcast needs to do against this list, because this list is the list that just heals D3 wounds all the time. So it's all about outlasting it. You can't outlast that. So, turn priority.
Oh, yeah. Forgotten about that. Got a 1.
Got a 3.
I'm assuming you're taking his.
I can't not. So... despite having lost about 500 points of stuff without killing a single model...
well, yeah, Plague Toad.
Okay, I killed a Plague Toad, what do you do? So, that's not good. Right, we'll be back at the end of Stormcast turn 2. End of Stormcast turn 2, and the board looks a lot emptier, actually. Or maybe I've taken a dead pile off of it. So, no surprise there. He's dead. Got punched in the face. They're all dead. Got punched in the face, mainly thanks to the Herald. I threw my Sequitors and my Lord Selson on Draco into the Demon Prince and did 2 wounds. Utterly incompetent. Rolled 4 2s out of 5 on reading 3s with my Great Maces. So I got a little bit unlucky with the Great Maces. Selson is just incompetent. These guys just wandered over here because they're super slow. So keep that objective up. I tried to cast off my Nuke spell. Dispelled, because of course it was. My Keylor charged with a huge charge, and actually killed the beast in one shot. The Paladors killed the Plague Bearers here with a little bit of help from the Judicators, but then were massacred by the Great Unclean One in return, because I got too close. The Paladins lost a dude and vaporized one Nurgling base. Down. And here I shot the Plague Drones and used Divine Light to try and make these guys as defensive as possible, and chucked them all into the Plague Drones. As you can see, I killed 2. Partly that's bad dice, partly that's Nurgle nonsense. But it does raise the question, if Stormcast don't have hit buffs, they can be betrayed because 3s are not as good as they look. That's all I'll say about that. In terms of objectives, I got 1 and 2, so I'm up to 5 points. I have a command point in the bank because I didn't use it, but both my flanks have now collapsed. So I think I'm kind of boned because with that flank free and that flank free, objectives are just going to start getting robbed and I might be out of this by turn 4. But that's a lot to happen between then and now. So we will join you at the end of Nurgle turn 2 and we'll see where we're at.
Okay. Right,
end of Nurgle turn 2 and end of round 2. This is getting interesting. So the Sequitors are gone. Demon Prince plus bad battle shock roll equals goodbye. Thank you. Celestant and then did get him down to 1 wound. Celestant, you're still on probation with your dice rolls. The Plague Bearers here charged the Liberators, killed 2. I killed 5 in return, thanks to the Knight Incantor getting involved as well. Thank you very much. Nobody ran away. Over here, the Palador Prime managed to survive the attacks of a Great Unclean One on 1 wound, so kudos. And he managed to kill a Plague Drone, which then came back on a 1 from Battle Shock. 1 concussor is dead, the other one's down to 3 thanks to very good death's heads. Tempestors are fine. Paladins are just slowly being chipped away by those bloody Nurglings, and I can't outrun them, so I might as well just stay in and keep doing damage. Down here, the combo attempted to work again, although instead of killing 8 Vanguard Hunters like it did last time, it killed 2 Judicators. So, on the fence as to whether that was utterly insane, Nurgle DPS, or that it was just good dice or bad dice. Can't quite make our minds up yet. Maybe with more command abilities, it goes off the charts. My Keylor was plinked for 2 wounds by Great Unclean One shooting, but the Great Unclean was forced to pile into the Palador Prime due to proximity, meaning that the Keylor is out of combat. I'm very, very lucky. Beyond that, yeah, that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. They need to go on my dead pile. That's it. So that's the end of round 2. The score is 6-5 because 1, 2, 3 at this round, and I scored just the 2 the previous time. So, priority roll for the round.
Oh, yeah.
This is important.
I'm definitely gonna have to take it.
Oh, this is bad. This is bad. I needed to be able to remaneuver here, and I'm not gonna be able to do it. So we'll join at the end of Nurgle turn 3 as they got the 3rd battle round underway. What's the dial doing?
Just unnatural vitality, so +2 to my move.
Oh, you might be wondering why some stuff's a lie that shouldn't be. Yeah, last turn it was restored D3 wounds to like everything. So Demon Prince should be dead. Plague Drones should have lost another one. Yeah, Lord of Affliction should be about half his wounds. Yeah, there was a lot of mass healing went on between the battalion and that. It's a lot of healing. Thankfully, you won't score as many points this round because if that combo doesn't go off, then you won't cap that. And that one is currently actually uncontested, or it's contested by the Tempestor, so you'll just need to move on to that. So, we'll join you at the end of Nurgle turn 3.
Okay.
End of Nurgle turn 3. Ow. I don't want to play my dice, but oh my god, they're letting me down. So, Concussors are dead because lots and lots of Rendy nonsense. Tempestors are also lost a dude because this guy rolled like two wounds, 32 damage, rolled massively high, done. Paladins are also dead because of me being an idiot with coherency and then an unlucky battle shock. Well done, me. This entire unit of Judicators dead. 8 guys dead to that combo again, so Nurgle DPS, don't know. However, he did change the dial with his magic phase, so he was at +1 to wound for the entire round, which didn't help, but still. 1 Liberator died in the cost of like 2 Plague Bearers because I rolled like so badly for my Grand Hammers again. My Lord of Keylor killed 2 Plague Bearers, I know, and lost 2 wounds in return. The Great Unclean One I luckily managed to tank. The Celestant was charged by the Plague Toad, the Demon Prince ran off. The Celestant whiffed again, and didn't kill the Plague Toad, who then did 5 wounds to him thanks to nonsense. But I had 2 chances thanks to my Sigmarite Thunder Shield to do a mortal wound because you reroll once for your saves, and I rolled a 2 both times, so I did no mortal wounds back. Thank you very much. You could have killed that beast by now. 220 points, really useful as a tank, but my god, his DPS is in the floor this game. So that's not helpful. Objective-wise, so that one is now capped, but it wasn't stolen, so that's just +1. That one is still capped, so that's another +1, and that one is still capped, so that's another +1. This one is still contested because the plague drones are actually too far back. We have measured it, there's 1 in each. So it's 8-9 to 5 going into Stormcast turn 3, and I've got 15 models left in my army. This isn't looking grand. It's not looking too grand, but I'll keep going and see what I can salvage, because I have a few ideas. Don't think they'll go very well, but they're ideas at least. We'll see at the end of Stormcast turn 3. End of Stormcast turn 3. The clutch kind of almost no it didn't. So, Captain Idiot is dead. I love your model. You look awesome on paper, but today you sucked. You utterly sucked. Can't even kill the Beast of Nurgle. Well done. I used the Lord of the Azerite Hurricane, whipped him out, got him over here, got a good charge in, had to re-roll the command points, and got into that Rockbringer Sorcerer. Got him down to 2 wounds. Debatably whether I got unlucky or not, I don't mind so much. And didn't take any damage in return. Works for me. Over here, I lost 1 Liberator. I killed like 1 Plague Bearer or something. Not very much. My Night Questor got in. He killed a guy. I think the Knight Incantor completely fluffed. And the Liberators... I even attack with the Liberators. Oh, who cares at this point? Over here, the Dracoth did a repeat of our test game and ate that Herald's face off. And is in melee there, but on damage, his shooting was useless as per. Relicta tried both his prayers, Divine Light and a Healing Storm, whiffed them both. So basically, I don't like 3+, or 3+ don't like me, which is not good when you're a Stormcast player, but there you go. So, priority roll for turn 4. The score, I didn't actually get any points in that round, so it's 11 to 5. 4. Right, this game's over.
It was 9 to 5, but yeah.
This game is massively over now, I think, because you've got priority and you're just going to score. The dial ticks to...
roll a dice for each unit within 1 inch of a terrain feature. On a 5-up, you take a mortal wound. Nurgle units heal a wound instead.
Oh, good. So that Sorcerer I was a little bit close to killing. Oh, I did kill the Demon Prince with the Storm Breath attack. Okay, you did a tiny little thing. You killed the Demon Prince who you should have killed 3 rounds ago. Thank you. Right, so that's that. Some terrain is probably going to kill my Lord of Keylor in a second, and we'll be back at the end of Nurgle turn 4 if I have anything left to report on.
Weirdly, you're not in an inch of it.
Oh, that's good. Well, you could heal, so... Anyway, we'll see you in a minute. End of Nurgle turn 4. The Anvil of Apotheosis is going to be very, very busy today. So Lord Relicta got absolutely shanked by the Lord of Afflictions, just yoink bash dead. The Dracoth Tempesta has done basically naff all, collect 1 Plague Bearer for 2 wounds in return, thank you much. Justinian, if he wasn't already, is dead. He got sniped in the face by magic because here's a spell that does 3 mortal wounds, goodbye. It's short range, but goodbye. Down here, I threw the Questor in during my turn. I'm losing track of what I've said and what I haven't at this point. But the Questor did a wound down here. The Plague Toad came in and just massacred the Knight Incantor. Thank you, lovely. And the Liberator's down to 3 because of magic and armor saves. That's about it. Yeah, there's not a lot to say because I've got basically no dudes. So we'll come back to this Stormcast turn 4. It's currently 13 to 5 because Nurgle controls every single objective right now. So we'll go back at the end of that, and then I think we'll call it again because it's getting a little bit late here. End of Stormcast turn 4. Tempesta died. Did take a point, with her with some shooting. Thank you very much for that. Questor's down to 1. Herald's down to 3. Plague Toad's fine. Liberators are fine. Nobody died there because I killed 2 with the Prime, but whatever. And that's it. So it's the end of the 4th round, but I've literally got 3 models on the board. 4 even models on the board. So that'll be that.
Yeah. Oh, very good game.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what went, because from our test game that we did just to get the rules right, the Stormcast can tank for days, but and have enough DPS to just keep Nurgle in check. That game, oh no, nothing died.
I think what you did different with your test game was you took the Lantern guy.
I took a Castellant in that game.
It was really handy for making your Liberators immortal.
But
they weren't in a great position.
They're
so
still
it didn't
there.
matter that they survived all game.
But they're still there.
Exactly.
That was last time they were in a really good position. But give me 30 seconds here. Useless. Really bad roll when I needed it. Utterly useless. What else do I need to rant about with my dice? Don't count how many times I rolled 2s for the cavalry.
Yep.
Don't even know. Paladins got locked in combat with Nurgs. Okay, that's my fault. Fine. Just, the dice were not on my side at all today.
To be fair, the -1 saves permanently thing is a bit...
And
OTG.
the less said about this, the better.
Yeah.
The less said, the better. That was... It went 8 wounds, 2 wounds, 8 wounds, hero deletion.
Yeah.
That's how that went for that. So, yeah, I hope it's proud of itself. So, Nurgle's happy. The Stormcast are all dead, all getting reforged, one of the two. And, yeah, a very, very convincing victory. Nothing like our other game where the Stormcast ground it out. This one just turned into a stamina. You had 19 summoning points and didn't even use them.
Yeah.
That's how dominant that was, that Nurgle didn't even need to summon. So Nurgle can still go. I know it was Stormcast, and I know I probably didn't play optimally and all that, and I didn't get good dice, but Nurgle can go. Nurgle can really go.
I think what buggered the game up for you almost from the beginning was losing all 14 out of 15 in the
That
first
collapse, that flank collapse was spectacular.
Yeah.
But this is the other thing we did in the test game. In the test game, I collapsed one flank and then camped the other.
Yeah.
Because that's where the objectives ended up stood. In this game, both my flanks just utterly collapsed because of the Demon Prince and my Celestin being awful, or that. My flanks just were collapsed, and with the resilience of the Plague Bearers, you might notice like barely any of them have died.
Yeah.
Apart from like one unit has died, and there's still half the Plague Drones stood on the board. The heroes are basically all here, apart from one who got his head bitten off by a Dracoth.
Yeah.
Nurgle just doesn't fall over, and because of this formation that gives them just mass healing and mass regen, it's so annoying to kill them. And when you do stay dead and your dice don't go with you,
it doesn't matter too much, because if I whiff my saves or I don't hit very well, I just try again next time, really.
Yeah, you're just always there. But then again, I think if you faced Nurgle before, you'll know that. So, yeah, anyway, you can get in the bin, and you can get in the bin, and we'll see you all very, very soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a double upload this week for AOS 2 because I did miss last week, so I'll let you know how we go. But we'll be doing plenty more AOS over the coming weeks with single bat reps, Triumph and Treachery, maybe a Gathering of Might, some fun narrative stuff. We haven't really decided yet, so we'll let you know, and I'm sure we'll be streaming very, very soon. So thank you very much for watching Tactica Imperialis and our first Age of Sigmar 2 2nd Edition Battle Report. We'll see you all next time. Bye for now.